Chapter 102, Changing Bottles 2. It was also an unpopular area with fewer people. Occasionally, a student from the School of Enlightened Mind would switch schools. However, most of the supplies in the Genetic Armament Center were for students to replace their training supplies. For example, the vacuum silver tantalum bottles that Zhu Tui was going to replace now could also be changed at the Genetic Armament Center. He could also change the bottle with Wen Xiao. However, after the previous incident, Zhu Tui no longer wanted to interact with Wen Xiao, who harbored ill intentions toward him. The Genetic Armament Center was located within the Extreme Branch Institute. That was because most of the students in the Extreme Branch were suited for genetic equipment. They also exchanged their training equipment here. By the time Zhu Tui arrived, school had already ended. Many students came to trade for training equipment. He first went to the service counter for the Mystery Branch. 2 to 3 students were also replacing the vacuum silver tantalum bottle. A senior who had just received his bottle was also very happy. Haha, it's been more than a year. I've finally managed to exchange for a 20 grams vacuum silver tantalum bottle. Let me tell you, with the speed at which my mind power is increasing, I would definitely be ranked at the top of the second year in the Mystery Branch. Wang Luo, Mystery Branch Institute's first year superb type. You came to exchange the 5 grams vacuum silver tantalum bottle. Do you have a teacher's verification? Yes. Zhu Tui knitted his brows slightly when he saw this scene. Did he still need the teacher's verification? Good morning, Professor. Do I have to provide a verification for the replacement of the vacuum silver tantalum bottle? Not really. If you don't have it, you can display it with your mind power here. You can change it when you reach your limits. This is a public training device provided by the school. The teacher working here was very friendly. Thank you, teacher. This matter was rather convenient. Even if he had to look for Wen Xiao when he returned, Wen Xiao would definitely not make things difficult for him under such a situation. However, it was a little uncomfortable for Zhu Tui to look for Wen Xiao alone. Where's your original vacuum silver tantalum bottle? Take it out. Our rule is to accept one and distribute one. Zhu Tui took out the vacuum silver foil bottle he had used just now from his bag. The teacher in charge was startled the moment he took it out. You want to exchange it for a 100 gram vacuum silver tantalum bottle? What year are you? Are you in your second or third year? Why do you look a little unfamiliar? When they heard that someone was going to exchange for a 100 grams vacuum silver tantalum bottle, the students around them immediately gathered around, including the first-year student, Wang Luo. Senior, you're exchanging a 100 grams vacuum silver tantalum bottle in your third year. Your progress is not slow. Which school are you from? Zhu Wenqi, who had also come to exchange his bottle, leaned over and smiled. He had the intention of befriending Zhu Tui. In college, the higher the grade, the more social the atmosphere was. These kinds of connections were something that he needed in the future. I'm not a third-year student. Zhu Tui smiled and displayed his identity information to the teacher. The teacher in charge, who was about to register his name, suddenly froze. You're not in your third year, then are you in your second year? I should be familiar with all of the students in the Mystery Branch Institute. Why do you feel like you are a stranger? Zhu Wenqi was a little confused. Suddenly, Wang Luo, who had just moved over, looked at Zhu Tui and said in shock, Zhu Tui, you came to exchange for a 20 gram bottle. You are? Zhu Tui was a little unfamiliar with the name. I'm also from the Mystery Branch. I've seen you fight against Deng Wei. I am very impressed. Wang Luo gave Zhu Tui a thumbs up. Zhu Tui quickly apologized. He was a famous person in the Mystery Branch. Many people recognized him, but he did not. He felt a little embarrassed. By the side, Zhu Wenqi and a few other students who had just heard the commotion looked at Zhu Tui and cursed in their hearts. Were all first-year students this sick nowadays? He had exchanged a 100 gram vacuum silver tantalum bottle in his first year in college. They were second-year students who had just exchanged for a 20 grams vacuum silver tantalum bottle. They had been feeling smug just now. All of them instantly felt uncomfortable. Zhu Wenqi, who had been feeling a little smug just now, felt as though he had been hit by 10,000 bullets. Did you come to exchange for a 20 grams bottle? How did your mental strength training progress so quickly? I've just swapped out my 5-gram bottle. Wang Luo asked 3 consecutive questions with a look of admiration. It made Zhu Wenqi and the rest a little confused. Did they hear wrongly just now? Did this first-year student in front of him come to exchange for a 20 grams vacuum silver tantalum bottle? If he had come to trade for a 20 grams bottle, they would not get hurt 10,000 times. They would at most be hurt 1,000 times. After all, there were still some demon-like geniuses in the first grade. Alright, the verification of your identity card is complete. Student Zhu Tui, since you do not have the signature of a teacher, you can display it for all to see. I'll note it down so that I can change the bottle for you. The voice of the teacher in charge suddenly rang out. Zhu Wenqi and the rest were extremely shocked. Did this first-year student really come to exchange for a 100 grams bottle? Wasn't that rather impossible? However, at that instant, their eyes bulged. That was because during the instant Zhu Tui nodded toward the teacher. His gaze casually landed on the silver nameplate in the 20-gram vacuum silver tantalum bottle. The silver nameplate had suddenly been pushed to a 90-degree angle. It then hovered there without moving. Zhu Wenqi and his classmates, as well as Wang Luo, instantly widened their eyes. So Zhu Tui is here to exchange for a 100 grams bottle. But I've only exchanged for 5 grams. At that instant, Wang Luo instantly felt dejected. It felt as though they were both studying mathematics. Someone else would score 100 while he scored 5 after 2 months. It was this feeling. He was already doubting himself. He felt a little despair. Zhu Wenqi was even more dumbfounded. He really exchanged it for a 100 grams bottle. He instantly felt as though he had been hit by 100,000 bullets. No, it should be 1,000,000 bullets. As a second-year senior, Zhu Wenqi was too embarrassed to look at the 20-gram vacuum silver tantalum bottle that he had just exchanged for. Teacher, is my demonstration all right? Zhu Tui asked the teacher in charge. While he was speaking, the silver nameplate in the 20-gram vacuum silver tantalum bottle remained suspended at a 90-degree angle. It did not tremble at all. Zhu Wenqi and the rest, who were still in a state of shock, once again cursed in their hearts. The Zhu Tui in front of him was a monster. Maintaining his mind power and prioritizing his focus were two important things. He could not afford to be distracted. Under 99% of the time, the silver nameplate would definitely drop or fluctuate violently if he spoke. However, the silver nameplate did not move even though Zhu Tui was talking to the teacher. Just how much more powerful was his mind power? The teacher in charge was also dumbfounded. He had seen many geniuses from the mystery branch. However, this was the first time he saw someone like Zhu Tui. Oh, that's enough. Wait, I want to take a photo. In his shock, the teacher in charge's grip became a little messy. He accidentally knocked the vacuum silver tantalum bottle that Wang Luo had handed over to him just now under the counter. It shattered with a thud. Be careful, Professor, Zhu Tui quickly said. The teacher in charge looked at the glass shards on the ground, then glanced toward Zhu Tui, whose silver nameplate had not moved a single time. A thought occurred to him. King hell, it was all because of this lad that he had to pay $50 in compensation. The bubble tea that he's supposed to give his girlfriend is gone.